Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Here I am. Here I am. First, I got to show you something. I've been meaning to do this whenever I was on the camera, and I keep forgetting because I think this is so cool. I went to a wedding, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, and it was at a fancy wedding venue. And let me show you how fancy it was. I went to the restroom, and when I was in the restroom, they had these available for people in the restroom. It's a little paper thing. You rip it open and it's got Listerine in it. So I only took one. I didn't raid the place, take all of them. But I took one because I thought that was neat. That's how you know you're at a fancy wedding, when they can provide you with some stuff like this. So it doesn't take much to impress me, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so thank you for being here with the Ritchie Roundup. One of probably 7 podcasts that I've done today. Just cleaning up some stuff that I didn't have time to get to on my radio show on WBT. WBT News Talk 107.9 WBT. Okay. I am so into, because it's drama. And I'm into this race for mayor of LA with Spencer Pratt against Karen Bass and then that other city councilwoman. Well, the other city councilwoman is an Indian lady, and she's a communist, just like Karen Bass is a communist. And I thought this was so funny because this guy is on the street interviewing people, and he's asking, who they're supporting for mayor. And he stops this guy who is of Indian descent, and it sounds like he has moved to Los Angeles from England, Great Britain. She's got that accent. So just listen to the way this conversation transpires. And the guy has no self-reflection at all to realize what he's just said. Listen.
Who are you voting for?
Ritchie Roundup.
Why her over Bass?
Well, she's Indian and I'm South Asian.
Respect.
So
What do you think about Spencer Pratt?
not much.
Do you think he has a chance?
I don't know. Do you?
I mean, if people are willing to elect Trump, some people just want to vote for the white guy
That's true.
just because they're white.
That's unfortunate.
What do you think about that? People voting on based on race and stuff.
I think it's a kind of unfortunate because you should be looking at someone's credentials, really.
Who are you voting for?
Okay. You should be looking at someone's credentials after he just said, I'm voting for her because I'm South Asian and she's Indian. No clue. But it's different when you say I'm voting for somebody because they're white, or I'm doing something for somebody because they're white. You can't, that's just completely different. You can't do it. Why? Just because you can't. Well, you just did the same thing. And I've seen many of these things on the TikToks and whatnot, where they'll ask African-American voters on the street who you're voting for, and they'll say Karen Bass because she's black. I got to support the black candidate. Nobody says I'm supporting Spencer Pratt because he white. It's just a gross double standard, I guess. But something really cool happened today, and it was Marco Rubio in a Senate hearing, and he's always really good at these things, because he was a senator, and so he can really go after these people. And he does, because all these Democrats are just, stupid. They're idiots. And this Jackie Rosen is a Nevada senator, and she's part of the problem in America, which is the liberal white women. She's part of that problem, and she thinks that she has nailed him, and that she is really going to stick it to him in her last minutes or her last seconds of time that she has to question Marco Rubio. And she, listen to how sure of herself she is, how smug she is about it. And then he just sets her straight, and she has nowhere to go. Listen.
Thank you. With the remainder of my time, I'd like to remind the American people that as the Secretary of State, your main duty as America's chief diplomat is to maintain our relations with foreign nations. This is why I was shocked to see that you were at a party with President Trump in Miami instead of accompanying Vice President Vance to Pakistan for negotiations.
What party was I at? I was at a party?
It's publicly reported, and there's photos there.
So what party? No, but you're going to say that. I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer that question because that's an absurd statement. I was not at a
I
party.
finish my paragraph, he can answer.
People are going to slander me. I'm going to answer
Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, both of whom were never confirmed by this body to be America's diplomats, accompanied the vice president in the negotiations. Even Iran's foreign minister was not there, yet was there, and you were not. I just feel that's embarrassing for us, and it's embarrassing for you. So, Mr. Secretary, Congress represents the American people. We have the power to confirm who represents America abroad. We confirmed you to be our Secretary of State. We confirmed you to be in the negotiations that are happening. And it's just unthinkable to me that you are missing high stakes negotiations or that you're not involved. It's sad.
Senator Rosen, your time's up.
But so let me
Senator Secretary Rubio,
you're 100% inaccurate and 100% wrong. Here's why. Number one, the Vice President of the United States was there, and he wasn't confirmed by us, and he was elected by the American people. Okay, he is the second in line of the presidency of the United States. He was president. Mr. Witkoff is the president's envoy for negotiation for peace deals. Mr. Kushner is a private citizen that serves as an advisor on these functions. They were the team that we sent to Pakistan. I was not at a party. Where I was is next to the president, because in the midst of those negotiations, I was in communications with them. And in fact, I think there is media reporting from that evening on how on multiple occasions I went into a back room, I came back out and spoke to the president and was constantly updating him. On that evening, I spoke to Mr. Kushner and our negotiating team and Mr. Witkoff on at least 6 occasions, including twice on a secure line from the phone they had access to over there. So you don't know what you're talking about. You're just
Senator
making
Rosen,
stuff up.
he has the floor.
I know your staff wrote up this cute statement for your TikTok video, but it's not true and it's not real. That's not what happened. Okay, I'm the National Security Advisor and Secretary of State. I was co-located with the president in the midst of a high-stakes negotiation so that I could immediately inform him about events occurring halfway around the world. I was where I needed to be at that moment because we had a very capable team on the ground in Pakistan, led by the Vice President of the United States.
Thank you.
Boom. And I would think you would want to be there. We would want you being there. You know, just a typical smarmy, just smug, typical Democrat. And then he just put her in her place. And, you know, she was looking at that like, all right, I'm going to stick it to it. I'm going to stick and move because it's going to be the end of our time. And I'm going to just leave it out here. And I'm going to tell him how it is. Nope. I also saw he was mixing it up with big-eyed Cory Booker as well. These people, these hearings are nothing but grandstanding opportunities. You know what? If they stopped televising those things and stopped, videoing them and then allowing news people to broadcast them in social media, they would be completely different. They would be so different. Let's see. What else did I have to clean up here for the Ritchie Roundup? Oh, there's a drag queen in New Orleans that is actually doing and answering the question that I say needs to be asked all the time. And that question is why? You see these headlines, like the other night, it was the mayor of Boone, North Carolina raises the pride flag over the city hall or the town hall or whatever. And then I say that you should just ask why. Why would you do that? Why? What's the purpose for that? Or drag queen story hour comes to such and such elementary school. Why? Why must drag queens come read stories to the children? What What is the purpose of that? Why don't we have a military story hour, soldier story hour at all of the elementary schools? I'm sure you could get military personnel that would love to come sit down and read stories to children. Would they be welcome? But really just focusing on the question of why. So this is a drag queen in New Orleans celebrating quote unquote Pride Month. And he answers the question, why? We don't like the answer, but at least he answers why without even having to be asked. Listen.
So much negativity in the world going on right now when it comes to the acronym LGBTQIA, right? Children need to hear that encouragement. Children need to hear that they matter. Children need to hear that everything in their life isn't negative. And it's just an opportunity to push them to be better adults and push them to be more inclusive of everything that goes on around them. So much negativity.
So he answered why. Why drag queens and children? Because the children need to learn to be inclusive. Because the children need to be taught how to be gay and drag queens. That was basically the answer. We need drag shows because they need the encouragement to be LGBTQ and need a push to be inclusive. We need to force them to be inclusive with things that they probably don't identify with and don't want to be part of. So there's the why. We got the answer. Okay, that's it for the Ritchie Roundup for tonight. I got to go to bed because I get up super, super early. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Have a good night.